Hi everyone, this is the second in our three-part series about filters, and in this video we're going to be talking about ND filters. Now we're going to start off by talking about the Lee filters, which they've branded their filters as the little, big, and super stoppers. Now they equate to a 6, a 10, and a 15 stop. Now firstly, why use an ND filter? What effect are you going to get? I use these mainly to get some movement in clouds. We've got some really nice cloudy days and I want to get some streaks across the sky. I'll use it for that. For water conditions, when you want to smooth out a water to make it a bit more of a peaceful, serene effect. And it also does improve your reflections if you've got anything to reflect in the water. So let's start out first with the little stopper. Now, when would you use this? Now this is only 6 stops, so I would use this in low light conditions like early in the morning or late in the evening when the light levels are quite low. If you use, say, the big stopper, you'll be running into several minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, several days. So I wouldn't recommend the big stopper for low light conditions. So the little stopper is great, especially if you want to get an effect that's only going to last, say, 1 to 2 minutes. Okay, the big stopper. Conversely, you want to use this. I mean, these things, we start getting into the realm of really dark. You can think of this as really dark sunglasses for your camera. I mean, you can not even see through this. Little stopper, you can see through a little bit. This one, nothing at all. Now, I would use this and the super stopper for instances where I'm, say you want things to disappear in your shot, such as cars or maybe boats passing or tourists, people walking through your shot. Put one of these on, expose for several minutes, and they all seamlessly disappear. Now, I would use that under brighter conditions, say as the morning goes on. Then you're going to still achieve the same exposure, but you've got brighter lighting conditions. Okay, so I personally use the exposure guides taped to the boxes just for ease of use, rather than using an iPhone or the app that Lee supply. It's just so much quicker and easier to use. Now the super stopper, I would use this during the middle part of the day, which, all right, it's not an ideal time to shoot landscapes, but there are occasions when you can get some great shots in the middle part of the day. And if you look at our video on shooting in harsh lighting conditions, you'll see the effects that you can achieve with one of these. Now, as far as usability, I get the most use out of my little stopper and big stopper. And then thirdly, the super stopper, mainly because I'm not shooting a great deal during that middle part of the day. Okay, so how do we use these filters? Let's take the little stopper, for example. Now on each filter you have a foam backing on the back of the filter, and this is crucial to seal the light out. So when you apply these to your filter holder, you put these towards the lens. So you slot that into the first slot closest to the lens. That's crucial. It's no good if it's in the second slot. You want it in the very first slot closest to the lens. It seals all that light out. Make sure that's right pushed all the way down, and then that will seal all the light out. Now, what I do normally is I make my first exposure first, the normal exposure, and look at my chart on here and see, let's say, for example, it's a 60th of a second is our normal exposure. That equates to a second exposure. And then if you wanted a long exposure, a second on the big stopper, or rather the 60th of a second will be 15 seconds, and on the super stopper, that will be 8 minutes. And you can jockey these around by using your f-stop or ISO accordingly to get the correct length of exposure that you want. Now, can you use any filters, other filters with these? Yes, by all means. I use grads all the time. Just slot that in the second slot and use the two filters together. At the end of this video, you're going to see some before and after shots I've used using these filters so that you can see what effects you can get and the difference it makes. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit that like button and make sure you see our last video in this series about using ND grad filters. Thanks for watching.